What other bucket? Black bucket?
Yeah, we have another black bucket.
Yeah, it's under the sink right now, just in case.
Oh, we found it. We lost one of the black buckets. Okay. So I don't know why I'm so dark right there. Anyway, you want to see puppies? Let me see how to flip this around. Flip camera. Ha! There's Emily and Connor. Connor, we just told him he gets to help wash puppies. So this is the clean whelping box. We have it all set up. There's the Prima pad, the fleece, the waterproof pad, this fleece, right, the big fleece, her stuffy, we call her babysitter, 2 pee trays, which are all clean and good and ready to go, and Mama is ready.
To do nails? Oh, however you want to do it. You can sit here and just hand them to dry, for Connor to dry if you want.
So here's how we do. Is we have the black bucket, has sudsy soapy water and a washcloth. And
She hands you puppy after she wipes them down and stuff like that. You're gonna just basically just kind of dry them off.
so the puppies are dirty.
And then when you go
The
to
dirty,
put
dirty
them
puppies.
back over here,
Hi,
you
Holly.
just put them right on the pee tray. So same way, like, I don't know, were you here for the playpen?
So we clean off face, we clean off feet, like any dirty stuff. Because we're not giving them full baths yet.
And anytime we put a puppy back in, we're gonna put the puppy onto the pee tray first, not onto the fleece. Right?
Tara, can you repeat that?
Yes. So how we start consistency and potty training for little itty bitty puppies is anytime the puppies are taken out of the whelping box and put back into the whelping box, they're put back in on the pee tray. So they're not put down onto the fleece anymore. Now they're put down onto the pee tray. So that this way they feel the texture of the pee tray and the texture of the fleece are two different to where you saw here this morning. If you were on our first live, we actually have puppies right now that are not even a month old that are almost potty trained.
Right? And you can see over here, now this one, they're a little bit younger. They're about 5 days younger. But the potty trays are getting use, right? And this is 20 puppies in here. We have 21 puppies. And that's the first puppy. Or the last
She
puppy.
already got her nails done, so she.
Okay, so we're doing nails today. So they both ate their slop.
They're slow.
And we're not going to clean out this one right immediately. Instead, we're going to set up the other whelping box. Ooh, invite guests. Accept. By Jove, I think I've got this. I've not done a TikTok live that I've shared with somebody yet.
This is how thick I am.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can, yep.
Perfect. Look at those little puppies.
Right.
How thick I am.
Is that your favorite? So this is Dark Green Boy from Sorka's litter. He's the biggest boy.
That's oyster.
Yeah, if we keep him, his name could be Oyster.
I don't know, he looks more like a walrus to me.
That doesn't begin with an O, Holly.
Between Otter and Albert and Ollie, we thought, I think we need an O, baby.
We need an oyster.
Oh gosh, look at him.
Right, so he's going to get all cleaned.
He already got his nails done.
His nails are done, so then Connor gets to dry them. And usually the more we do it, the cleaner they get, and they'll lick each other off some too, but we do like them to be clean.
This is a bull crap. This is a bull crap. He said, Holly, look at these mitts, man.
Look at
Look at
him.
those mitts.
Look at him.
And his thickness, his badonkadonk.
He's a thick boy.
He got a big old head. Got a big old head.
And here's everybody sleeping. We put everybody in one of the boxes so we can clean the other box out.
The brick.
Look at the babies. Angus, sit. Thank you.
I know.
No. Ugh. Oh, are you jealous because I'm talking to other people? Little fucking pansy ass.
Tell me what you really feel.
Look. Look at the babies. Angus was that little once.
Right? I don't know. I don't remember him being this little. I remember him being ginormous and a moo cow.
Always. Always. Him, because him so chunky. Look at him. The amount of people that ask me, is he a golden and a lab mix? Because he's just so big.
People are so strange.
So do nails.
You know, we get sometimes people who are like, I want a lab because I don't want the shedding.
Connor's got a
I know, that's what I do. I'm like, have you ever had a lab before? Like, we've had both in Lab and Golden at the same time for training whenever we were just doing training. And the lab had a moat of hair around his crate, and the Golden just made tumbleweeds. So, like, everything sheds, people, even Doodles shed.
Right. Poodles
You know?
do not shed, but
Right? Poodles, the ones you have to take into the groomer, usually don't, but sometimes. So, yeah, if you want a dog who doesn't shed, I had somebody who needed a dog who for hypoallergenic. And so they asked if we were ever going to do doodles. And I'm like, no, we might do a standard poodle litter. We've done 2 in the past, but we will never, ever doodle.
No.
oh, come on, Vicky.
Right?
That could be instead of it being a doodle breed, it could be the new whatever Rex breed, because if you look at any like across the species, horses, rabbits, cats, any of the Rex, like if it ends in a Rex,
Yeah.
then it's got a short curly coat.
Okay. Oh, is that like my poodle horse?
Yeah.
I tell people that because I'm so allergic to horses. I'm like, there's a poodle horse and they don't shed as much. And people look at me like I'm freaking insane. And I'm like, no, there's something like a poodle horse.
Yeah, I can't. I'll have to look up the name. I can't think of it, but look at those beans.
I got my nails all nice and clipped off.
Look at these beans. Look at those beans. Hang on. I can't see. There we go. Look at those beans.
Oh, jeez.
It's like before and after.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what we're doing on Monday?
Uh,
Taking Flounder to the vet.
why?
Boom, chicken, wow, wow.
Did she already tie or is
Yeah, that's going to be side-by-side AI.
nice?
But fingers crossed that March 8th we have another litter.
If we get all the checks on Angus done and you guys decide to do breeding on him, who do you think you'd want to breed him with? Too bad we can't breed him with Otter because they would make the cutest fucking babies, wouldn't they?
They would. But, okay, so here's part of my plan. And this is a plan that's many years in the making, is Ripley is Magic's dad and your doggy's dad.
Mm-hmm.
So we know how amazing he is, and his daddy's Arson, who's, I think, like #1 in the country right now. So Flounder's dad was number 3, I want to say, in 2018. Her dad was Stone. It's the only litter we did with him.
Mm-hmm.
So having those 2 together should make a beautiful puppy. Now, Flounder and Otter share a mom, but in breeding, it's called line breeding, not inbreeding. We don't live in West Virginia. So we could do a Otter to Flounder baby, Nemo baby, because it's going to be the Nemo litter, because, you know, Flounder, Nemo. So we could do something like that. Now, yours is Mom Lita, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't breed yours to a Lita one. We could do Pirate. We could do Star.
Magic.
We could do Magic because she's a princess.
We're not gonna get an otter Angus though.
Who's the darkest female? Because I feel
Pirate.
like with Angus's like medium color with a dark, we would get some nice dark babies.
Right? And he's got such a great personality. Oh, excuse me.
Look at this chunky fat boy.
Right?
You could
Just
do
look.
a magic otter.
I think we just need to find a way for Otter and Angus to mate.
I
Well,
know,
we have
right?
to go through girls, and it'll take
I
2
mean,
years.
hell, if we did that though. Well, here we go. Well, no, Otter's younger. I was gonna say, well, here we go. Breed Otter, and then take one of the girls, and then we could breed one of the girls with Angus. But
Right?
You still have to have testing done, and we still have about a year before we can do magic anyway.
yeah.
October is when she turns 2.
Well, I'll be coming down in the next couple of months. I'm actually working on planning that right now. I'm just trying to get the house all put together, and then I figured while I'm down there, because I am boycotting ISNY Day, I will not be going there, so I'll still be down there by normal amount of time, 8 or 9 days, but I am not doing 8 or 9 days at Universal. You've got me fucked up if you think I'm doing that.
Universal's fun. You
It
can do
is fun,
Europe,
but I'm
too.
not doing 9 days of it. So I'm going to take one of those days to meet with the vet that Vicky likes to get scheduled for all of the testing.
Perfect.
And he had blood work done, but when did we just did that a couple of months ago. His blood work was perfect, but she was just like, he's really young, are you sure? And I was like, he's a service dog and I need a good baseline.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not ridiculous.
So, did we do his genetic stuff to see if he's a carrier or clear, or did we do that before you got him?
No, we did it. I did that like the first year that I brought him home. I'll have to go back and find the results, but I feel like I remember you telling me that his genetic testing was good and he was like pretty diverse on his whatever the diverse,
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's a movie
Well,
now.
Lita was clear and Ripley was clear, so they should both be clear. But you could do it, they're cleared by parentage, or you could just test and make sure. You know what I mean?
I mean, kind of. I don't get into all that. The testing I get into involves a lot of blood work.
Right? So, yeah,
Oh,
we could
and
do that. Like I said, he's clear by parentage, and that's Embark, or
Yeah.
I think Paw Print.
Yeah, I did embark because
Okay. So, yeah, if you did Embark, then it's hips, elbows, eyes, and heart. So, eyes, you have to do a canine ophthalmologist, and heart, you have to do a cardiologist. So, if you check, some of the AKC clubs can do shows and matches and just test days where you can bring them in. So, ours does it, I think, in May.
Yeah.
And so we just take everybody in May to get their eyes redone because their eyes have to be done annually.
Well,
make
I
sure that there's nothing
did.
weird.
I did his. Well, I didn't do. I tried looking. Take your ice cube, you fucking weirdo. I tried scheduling him because I did look on like the AKC, and there's just we don't have any vets that are coming to Indy on a regular basis to do even eyes. They because we have like 4 specialty vets, ophthalmologists that are in, and I think that's why they don't, is because they're just like, we'll go to the specialty, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $400 to go to the specialist.
Okay, so here's something else for you to look into. Google, or I can look up and see there's an ophthalmologist in Orlando. And with this much pre-planning, you could probably get him in there, and I think it's $100.
Oh, that's not bad.
Now, oftentimes when you do them with the dog clubs, it's about $35. So, like I'd rather do it that way because I can go and bring in multiple and get it done. But, like if we need to, it's not the worst thing in the world that can happen. There's also one in Ocala, but that'll be farther from you in Orlando.
Yeah. Well, Ocala's not too far. Well, and normally I stay like because I did it twice, staying at the resorts, but usually, I get like a condo or a house. I rent a house or something like that, usually in like Buena Vista.
There's some cool houses. You need to rent one of the cool ones with like Star Wars rooms or something.
Yeah, well, usually my thing is finding some place with a pool because, Layton is a fish. And the last place we stayed at, I rented a house that had a private, like, screened-in pool, which I was like, oh, cool. Oh, speaking of screens, guess what big-headed freaking cow plowed through my back screen porch because he didn't see it and he had to go poop.
Oh, did he get out?
He did,
Okay.
but he busted the screen.
Poor big guy.
And he had to put
What it was, he was really excited to get out, lay down. And he started running around.
Fine.
And then as soon as I opened the door, because he's not quite used to this house yet, he takes off for the yard. And it was it was like that twilight time. And he couldn't see the screen because it's a black screen that's just framed in. And he booked it straight ahead and just plowed right through the screen. I was like, wow. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
That's what we're doing.
Some of them have done that at Jamie's parents' house because they have the cage around the pool, the screen.
Yeah.
So, like, they know where the door is, but sometimes they don't realize which side of the door frame the door's on.
Yeah.
That's where planters are going to come in handy.
Right? Yeah, true that.
Yep.
People be like, do you like plants? And you're like, no, I just have a dummy dog.
Angus, come lay down.
Oh, did you hear
Fucking
Otter broke
puppies.
the screen at Emily's parents' house, Otter broke the screen too. So see, they are soulmates.
They are soulmates. Maybe they just need to be gay lovers because I'm telling you. Sit.
We'll have to see if Otter chatters.
Holly, he's gonna be 2 soon.
Oh my gosh, he's getting a big old man.
Right?
Yeah. We're gonna go back to Build-A-Bear and build bears. Him and Sky.
Oh,
Build our bears.
that's the cutest thing. Otter, I'm telling you, Otter and Angus, they just look, it's amazing that they don't have any relation because they, other than the coloration, they're almost the exact same size. How much does Otter weigh, Emily? Is he at about 85, 90?
68 or 69. We're going to go with 69.
Yeah,
Seriously?
yeah. It's just his head.
It's just, he's a bobblehead.
Holly has a nice slender waist, like an hourglass.
Yeah, I think Angus is at, last time I took him, I have to check again, but Angus is at like 80 or 85. Him a big boy.
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. Holly doesn't come down as often as she should.
Yeah. Instead of just buying a house in Florida.
Well, I'm sorry. I got a divorce and I had shit going
Easy to
on.
come to Florida. We could have started our compound.
I know.
What the hell?
Angus, lay down. You were just out, dude. So are we talking puppies today or are we talking retiring service dogs? What are we doing today, Vicky?
We were just doing puppies because we're getting them done up and then set up.
Oh, that's a big yawn.
We could do retired service dogs next time.
We're doing cuteness today. Show Callie.
We like the cuteness. Look at the babies.
The sweet.
So one thing that we get so many questions on, Holly, is why do they have marks on them? And people don't understand that, especially when they're newborn, weight is critical. And if the dog plateaus, there's a chance he could be fading and die. So you need to weigh them at least twice a day and track their weights. We track them in grams. But to do that, we have to know which puppy is which. And then as we do their early neurological scent discrimination and just normal neurological stimulation stuff, and we get to know them, we need to know who's who. So they don't have collars on because the Velcro collars would attach to each other or to that fleecy, or mom could eat them. So collars aren't good at this age. Some people do like paracord collars, but no. Instead, it's just easier to use the little paint dots on their badonkadonks and on their necks. So we know which litter and which puppy.
Okay, so coming from a veterinary standpoint, I can say that any collar that is not now puppy, well, no, they could, because I was going to say they don't have the strength, but they could. So any collar that is not breakaway, I never condone non-breakaway collars to any people with dogs or even really cats, especially if they're indoor outdoor, because what happens with the non-breakaway collars, so whether it's Velcro, whether it's the breakaway buckle, especially when you have large amounts of puppies, is they can get caught in things. And so like a paracord is not, it does not break away, not unless you have a loose tie on it, which at that point that kind of defeats the purpose because then mom can eat it again.
Yeah.
While she's cleaning. So here's what can happen with the non-breakaway collars is they get caught in each other, they get caught in things, and then you're facing strangulation, which I have actually seen in the emergency room, the veterinary emergency room, where a dog got caught in a fence or they got caught in a kennel because the owners let them go in and out through the day, or they kennel them all day and while they're at work, and they may start moving around, they may pace, and then the non-breakaway collar gets caught, and then they start panicking because they don't know what's going on. And they either cause severe tracheal damage. So that's, for anyone who doesn't know, that's your breathing pipe, right? That you could feel. So they'll face severe trachea damage, or they could they could suffocate, strangle themselves to death. So that is like I said, especially when you're dealing with large volumes of dogs and puppies, and you have young puppies and they're all squirming around and they're getting up on each other like they are right there, their feet can get caught. And then for the other puppies, again, if they're not breakaway, puppies don't really have good CP, which is conscious proprioception, which is essentially the movement of their feet and the understanding of where their feet are placed. So their feet, their arms, their legs can get caught in other collars. And again, if they're not breakaway and they start moving around, they can break a limb, in addition to strangling the other dog. So that is, as far as safety goes, doing a non-toxic nail polish or paint like you guys are doing is going to be the best bet until they get older and mom's not vigorously cleaning them and you could put small breakaways on them.
Yeah, and usually what we find is by about the time they're eating and they're not making such a huge mess with their meals, huge mess with the meal right there, you know, and they're moving around a little bit better, that's usually when we go breakaways. But because breakaways can break away, we still do, you know, like to have that little bit of paint on there so we know who's who until they're microchipped. Once they're microchipped, then we're good.
Yeah. Now, do you guys keep a microchip reader on hand there?
Yeah, I think we have 3.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then we check them, and oh my gosh, we have a list right with the dogs who are in, and I hadn't updated one of them, Gus's, I think it was, you know, like it was the one from the previous one, and I hadn't realized it, and so we go to scan him, and he is not on there, and that's not him. And then we checked all the other ones, and they're freaking out. I'm like, hold on, I think I didn't, you know, do one of them, and so we pulled up his records, and it was correct. So we were like, woo, don't do that again.
Talk about panic.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. We also have to, when we do the events, like go to where the dog club does the heart and eye clinic, we need to start bringing it because sometimes they have a hard time finding it.
Like Pirate.
Yeah, Pirate, they're like, she doesn't have one. And we're like, yes, she does. And they're like, no, she doesn't. We're like, yes, she does.
And when you message me, I'm like, tell them to look on her left shoulder blade.
Right?
Well, and that's why, you know, when I worked in a vet, we always,
Head to toe.
yeah, it's very much like when you get waved down at the airport, you know, with the wand and stuff like that. That's pretty much what we do, because not only can people put them in weird places sometimes, but they can migrate.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is that they travel, and being as tiny as they are, where their neck is right now might be their shoulder blade when they're 6 months old.
Yeah. So some breeders don't want to put them in because they do migrate and travel. But, you know, I think the pros outweigh the cons. For example, all our puppies go home registered or microchipped, and we register them, and we are back up on that puppy for life. You cannot take us off even if you tried.
Yeah.
Right. So we had actually I think it was the beginning of November, AKC reached out to us, the Reunite, which is their microchip, saying that a dog was found with our contact information on his microchip. And I looked up to see who it is because we keep records of everything, and called the owners, and the owner's like, yep, dog took off after a deer. I'm on my way now to go there to pick him up because they contacted me too. So, you know, it was a fantastic reason on why we microchip every single dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I can't say in all my time in veterinary medicine, I can't say that I have ever seen a serious issue caused by migration of a microchip, other than we couldn't find it. So now, does that mean it's never happened? No, that just means I never saw it, and I saw a lot of crazy shit. So, does it migrate? Yeah, but it's going under the skin. You're not putting it in a vein where you have the potential for it to get traveled back to the heart, right? Which I think is what some people freak out about. And they're small, but they're not sharp, right? So they're small but not sharp, so they can't really penetrate any vessels. And is it possible? Yes, but it's not something I've ever seen. So they're pretty safe. And there are so many dogs that get microchipped each year. Now, you know, if someone wants to show me a study that says that microchips can migrate in whatever percentage of dogs, or they migrate dangerously, then I would love to look at it, but it's not something I've ever seen. I usually would see more issues with food related problems than microchips ever. So
Yeah.
look at the puppy pile.
I like the little legs sticking up right there.
I know, it's just a little random one.
Right, help me, guys.
So when do these guys start regulating their own body temperature, Vicky?
I believe they are now. They like to cuddle. We don't do heating pads, so I know some breeders love to use heating pads. We don't. They're 3 weeks and 3 weeks and 5 days old, so almost 4 weeks old. They do shiver a little bit after you feed them when they're wet and all. So like it's cool here today. It's not snow weather. I think it says it's 57 outside. Yeah, so we have the house a little open to get some fresh air in here. And you can see, like, they do like to puppy pile and make noises.
Look at the babies. Hey, who's that in the background laying their head on the towels?
That's Mama Sorka. And here's Princess and here's Uncle Bert. Bert is not the father of either litter, but he's been back here with me for the last 4 weeks, yeah.
Sorka's looking like, man, fuck these kids.
Right? He's like, I want to go pee some more.
And they got baby teeth now.
Yeah, they do have teeth now. Oh, you want to show teeth, Emily?
Is that a Sorka or Princess? Yeah, Sorka.
Sorka. Give me your gummies at.
Teeth. Hold on, there we go. See, teeths?
Oh, look at the jumpers.
He's like, oh my god, I'm dead. You killed me.
Oh. So, what do you guys do for early training on these guys? I know we start at 3 days old. What are we doing for like handling and stuff like that at this age?
So at 3 days, we start them with early neurological stimulation and early scent. And what that is head up, head, on the back, head down, blow in their face, tickle feet.
Emily's saying I show you like this, and then like this.
For 3 seconds each. So sometimes mamas will flip them around and sometimes mamas don't.
That way.
Blow on their face, tickle foot. It's supposed to be, it has in the past been like put on a cold object, but I don't like that one. That's my least favorite, so we stopped doing it.
He said that is the cold one.
Right? So we blow in the face. I like that much better. It gets them a little something different. Then we introduce a scent to them. We hold it right in front of their nose and we see what they do.
So what are you doing what's the reason for the scent?
The scent is to show them that scent has meaning. So a lot of times dogs learn to ignore, double hawks, nice. Dogs learn to ignore things that don't matter, right? So that's when puppies go home. A lot of times, like if they pick up something stupid, stones or mulch or sticks or your shoes or whatever, people get mad and yell at the dogs. But then the dog's like, okay, fine, I won't pick stuff up. And then when the dog's 6 months old or a year old, they're like, well, I want my dog to pick stuff up and hand it to me. But the dog's learned already not to pick stuff up because you've taught them this. Mm-hmm. So by introducing them to different scents, it teaches them that scent has meaning. And then a lot of our dogs go on to do medical scent-based alerts. Well, I guess scent-based medical alerts. So it works out really good for that. So once they start, because they're born, their eyes are closed, their ears are closed. Once they start opening their eyes and ears, and then they're moving around a little bit better, we stop with the earlier neurological stuff and we start with, for example, the potty trays in here. We also have over here, I don't know if you can see, that's gray egg crate foam squares, and then the little toddler sensory pieces. So we'll add those to it. We actually have little toys that we've been trying, like little cat chaser toys, or, little toys to see how they'll do it. We're adding in the food, so they're getting introduced to that. We're going to set up the whelping or the playpen in the living room for them. So then they're going to have access to that. And then we add in different things every day for them. So they are always getting something. We also let them sleep when they're sleeping. So you can say like, well, yeah, but they're sleeping over there and you're washing them. Yeah, because they need to get washed. But for the most part, if they're asleep like this, we're not going to go in there and harass them. We're going to let them sleep because it helps with their sleep rhythm and for them to be all that they can be. Look at that one with the little paw on the rail.
Look at the babies. You know,
Right?
this,
This is going to be all 21 puppies once it's all done in one box while we set up the other one.
you know what this calls for? Hang on, let me find it. There we go. Relaxed goose.
Oh, that one popping his head up. He's like, oh, don't forget about me. I don't want to be on the bottom.
Babies. So let's see. How long are these puppies sleeping throughout the day right now?
A lot. They get up to eat, and then they'll play sometimes too, and I try to grab video of it, but their play isn't like chase or anything. It's like what seals will do. Yeah, like so they'll sit there and they're like play bitey face with each other. It's learning though. It's the baby steps of play.
See whose nose can fit into whose mouth better?
Yeah, whose nose can fit into whose mouth better, as Tara just said.
That's not where I thought you were going with that. Because that's not usually where their nose goes.
Right? Yeah, they like to play bitey face.
What are your thoughts? Because it seems like different breeders, different trainers have different opinions on it. What are your thoughts on sibling syndrome? People that adopt siblings together.
So most normal people, I don't recommend it because they're going to use the dogs as I don't have to do it. They can just play with each other. Because it doesn't just have to be siblings. Because I've had people get, because again, professional dog trainer for over 20 years, right? So we've had people who, well, they're not sibling dogs. It's not littermate syndrome because they're from two different litters. No, but they're the same age. And you've put them together to play together because you don't want to play with them. You put them in the same crate or beside each other. They've always been around each other. And that's not good, right? You want the dog to have individual time. So we've done it. We had the two litters in January born like 2 days apart or 1 day apart. And we ended up keeping 4 puppies from that litter.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have littermate syndrome because they'll go out individually on outings. They'll work with the different trainers, even though they might be crated up and it might be beside each other, like they're individual dogs with individual personalities and temperaments. And for most people, they can barely handle 1 puppy, let alone 2.
Yeah.
So what I'll tell them is if you think you want 2 puppies, get 1 puppy. When that puppy's a year old, get another puppy.
Yeah.
And then
Well, I guess I should have you explain what is littermate syndrome.
It's where they get too attached to each other and not as attached to you. So then they just want to do things with each other and they get basically codependent on each other.
Codependent, and then you also get the one dog who's going to be more, say, optimistic, and you're going to get the more pessimistic, the one who's more pessimistic is going to stand up for the optimistic one, and you're going to get more of a shyer dog and a more outgoing dog. You're not going to get 2 dogs that are both going to be like, yes, I'm going to go everywhere. You're going to get the one who's going to stand back and watch while the other one goes, and then might join in.
Yeah. Yeah. And how we work on preventing that too is because, a lot of times when they're here for puppy programs and stuff, they're here, so they do get the outings. They do get the individual time. They do get to go on overnights to Aunt Emily's and Aunt Tara's and Uncle Jamie's and go with Aunt Sam. So it works out really good. And then again, we do outings. So we just went to the mall earlier this week. We went to Mexican yesterday because there's a really good Mexican restaurant when you come by.
Mm-hmm.
We can go to.
Got 2 for 1 margaritas.
Whoop, me and Tara are getting lit. Who's driving?
Somebody, not me. Uber.
I don't know if they have Ubers in the villages.
See, I do excuse for me to drive.
Oh, see, there we go. Rich and Todd. That's it. I'll bring my husband.
I was going to say, I feel like we could just get a golf cart and be fine. Everybody else does down there.
Right?
Yeah, but we just have no place to go unless you get a house. Unless you rent a house in the villages.
You can do that.
I don't know. I looked at some of the houses in there, and that retirement community is a little popping off more than any of the fucking resort areas.
You could ask Elena and them where they got their house.
Yeah, you can see, I guess, Elena in,
Oh, you stimulated.
Brody's owner got a house in the villages here for the workshop, so you can see where they got theirs at, too.
Yeah. It's called stimulation.
What happened?
She's peeing on Emily. Because Emily was wiping her, and I said, you stimulated. She said, oh, that feels good. That's so funny now. Yeah.
So the puppies also cannot poop or pee by themselves when they're first born, and Mama has to stimulate them, which means lick them to get them to potty.
So I just walked out. She's down there.
So, yeah.
Do you guys monitor? Well, I know it's really hard, especially when you have that many puppies. But do you monitor urine and fecal output on them, or you just look at?
We just look at overall weight. And you can usually tell, watching her do it. So what Sorka would do with her 12 puppies here.
Or you could just do this and then I go pee.
Oh my gosh. What Sorka did with her 12 puppies is she would put some on her because she only has 8 nips, right? Some on her and some she'd kind of collect between her paws or they'd be sleeping. And so she'd lick them and groom them while the other puppies were nursing, and she took care of rotating them out. Now, if a puppy wasn't gaining as much, we could put them on Princess whenever they were old enough, or we put them first on. So they're the only puppies in there for a little bit, first puppy on. We try not to supplement their feeding in the beginning because then mom's not going to produce as much. And you're on this whole mother's pudding supplements kick that helps them with that, Okay. So we'll do that with them, and like I said, we'll monitor. So I've been back here. These puppies are 3 weeks old today. Well, the other litter is, and these ones are 3 weeks and 5 days. They'll be 4 weeks on Sunday. The ones who were born on December 8th. So somebody's usually back here. It's usually Rich or me, unless we both have to go somewhere, in which case, someone else bumps back here. Because for the most part, they're doing way better right now. But what happens if, Mama does sit on one of them? Like we want to be here. Panini, I think she's been in, but I don't know how much she's actually seen. If she wants to come in and be good. You want to see Panini see the puppies and meet them for the first time? Neeners.
Oh
my god, I haven't been back here in like a month, and I thought I couldn't come back here anymore, and that's it.
Neeners, come here. Look at the baby. What is that? She's white squirrels. White squirrels.
They're yucky like me. So Princess is a Lucy baby and Panini is a Lucy baby. Princess is from Lucy's first litter and Panini's from Lucy's last litter. And so she's a half sister to this one, and her daddy is their daddy. So I don't know how that makes it.
It's
but
like a Jerry Springer story.
It is Jerry Springer. It's totally true.
what?
So they're half siblings of yours.
It's like gross.
Yeah. Magic loves the puppies. She wants to go in and see the puppies so much.
Oh,
but yeah, there's Panini. And here's all the puppies. Well, not all of them. There's still, still one. Is that the last one?
No, 2.
2 left.
There's still 2 more. They just keep multiplying.
So we had almost 2 years ago a litter of 22. Well, 2 litters total 22. And these ones, the 2 litters total 21.
Yeah, Otter and Sky said nobody's beating us. Otter and Sky said
So, and for Princess, she's had a litter of 2 and a litter of 3. Now she had a litter of 9. So, yay.
Wow.
Princess won.
Oh, that's right. Was her first litter was like Christmas babies, weren't they?
They were born in October, I think.
No, Magic was October. October 13th.
Yeah, I think it was about the same for the year before. Because we were going to do Hocus Pocus then, and we didn't. We did maybe November, somewhere around there. Beginning of November. I'd have to look up and see. Her first litter was Sleeping Beauty. So, yeah.
Look at those babies.
These 2 litters were both born on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Magic's second litter was born on Friday the 13th in October, and this one was Friday the 13th in December.
And then you finally decided to go with Nightmare Before Christmas after years of me begging you.
We had no choice. It was an executive decision.
No, there's no roaches in here. Where do you think you saw a roach?
It's a leaf.
It's a leaf. Where's the leaf at?
So,
I don't know. Somebody posted. Was that a roach?
No,
so
it's
cute.
It's right there. It's a leaf.
Okay. Yeah, it's apparently a leaf. But no, we don't have roaches. We come out and have it sprayed. Well, someone comes out and sprays it. Yeah, we do. In Florida, you need to have a pest guy or girl.
Yeah, that nice warm weather all the time.
Heck yeah, I got my old mom all to myself.
Versus this bullshit. It's like 10 degrees today.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah. And we have a snowstorm coming in on Sunday.
Yeah, they're saying it might snow in Florida. I don't believe them, though.
When was the last time it snowed in Florida? Hasn't it been like 10 years?
Probably more. Probably a million years.
She's a wiggle worm, so just be careful for her. She gets people around the yacht. Alright, come here, Yellow.
Okay. So what are you guys doing to prevent infectious diseases from specifically other dogs from coming in? What kind of precautions do you guys have?
Other dogs aren't allowed in right now. So, like, ours are all vaxxed, and they don't go to weird places. Look at that one. They don't go to weird places. We don't allow people to come in. When people do come in, like our team or some select volunteers, of course, wash hands and no shoes, especially in here.
You know what you guys need is biscuits. So you know those like they use them in like surgery and stuff, but they're the boxes that you could like push your foot in to put those like quick cover scrub socks on.
We've got booties, but I don't have a cool box to put them on with.
Sounds like a TikTok thing. Or no, not TikTok. It sounds like a Temu thing, doesn't it?
Temu?
Yeah.
It kind of does, but they actually use it in more, you see it more in human medicine, but you can see it in some higher end veterinary hospitals that it's so that the doctors, before they go into the surgical suite, they literally just step in and the booties are, get out of there, leave my pillow alone.
The Mimi's in, check it off the box now that it's all empty. That'd be cool. My concern would be that we'd have to keep it up because I think the dogs would try to pick it up and carry it around, or figure out they could put their foot in it and make it go.
And just make it constantly pop. Boop, boop, boop. Next thing you know, you got like 8 million booties all over the floor.
Yeah, I want to put it past Bert. That's the issue. People leave their shoes right outside the door here, and if Bert's not in here, he'll take them and go. And if he is in here and Star or Matt or Pirate are out there or Panini, they'll take them and go.
So, random question, but have any of the dogs figured out, because Angus has, and he figured it out a while back, but have any of the dogs figured out that if they bring their shoes to you, that they're indicating they want to go outside?
So ours, we do have 2 doggy doors that go outside from our house here. So they don't figure they need that. Bert does like to bring shoes, though. So he'll bring shoes to mom and dad when he goes over there. But it doesn't mean for them that they go outside.
Yeah.
Angus figured out that I always put my shoes on to go out. And because he doesn't always have a leash or he'll have his e-collar on, like if we're going off leash because I'm just putting him in the car or whatever. But if he wants to go do something, he'll bring me a shoe. Instead of taking off with it, he'll just come and leave it in his mouth and put his head on my lap. Like,
Aw. Bert knows if I have my fanny pack on or not. If I start walking out the door from the dog room to the patio, that means we're going somewhere. If I go outside, apparently we're going somewhere. And so he gets so excited. Then he'll go and he'll hop up and down at the gate. And he's like, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
You know, that makes me think of it was R2 was the one that was, when he was a puppy, he was jumping all over the table and stuff out there. Like I would walk out and he would just be like sitting on the patio table and just rolling around. I'm like, what kind of crackhead is this? But I loved him.
Right? He was fun. Which I'm not right now. Okay.
So I'm not going to say anything about but
Look at that one is so cute. Oh my gosh.
except for that.
Look at the babies. All right. Well, I got to get back to work. My lunch break is over.
Okay. It was a good break. It was good talking to you. And then we're going to go set up the other playpen for them. Well, their playpen. We got a new one in. So we're going to set that up and see how it goes.
All right. Well, I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.